There we go. Okay.
Here we are live. Hello and welcome. My name's Joe.
I'm Emily.
And today we're going to be playing Marvel Villainous Infinite Power. So we have the game set up for 2 players. I will be playing Thanos. I hold the galaxy in my palm, ready to crush it like an eggshell.
I am Taskmaster, and I can counter anything you throw at me. I can mimic and adapt to any move you make, and I can anticipate any blow.
Ooh. So, to set up the game, you're going to give each player their domain. They're going to unfold that, put it in front of them. They're going to take their deck of villain cards and shuffle those. You're also going to create the Fate deck. So this Fate deck will contain neutral Fate cards that are included that are used in every game. And then you're going to use the villain-specific Fate cards as well. So there's some Thanos Fate cards, and there's some Taskmaster Fate cards. We'll get to those when they come up, but those Fate cards can be used against anyone in the game. Like Thanos can only affect Thanos and vice versa, but we will cover that when we start to get into them. You got the power here. Whoever is first player gets 0 power. Whoever is second player gets 1 power, and Emily has decided to go second. You're going to take your mover, and you're going to put him on your villain's portrait. And then you're essentially set up to go. We have the strength tokens here, and then we also have the Infinity Stones because Thanos is in the game, so these come into play. But we'll cover all that when we get to all that. So before you start, you draw 4 cards. So everyone starts the game with 4 villain cards in their hand. And on your turn, all you do is you're going to take your mover and move to one of the 4 locations in your domain. Once you're in that location, you can take the actions in any order at that location. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually move to the Infinity Well.
Well, what's your goal?
Oh my gosh! What's your goal? How do we win the game? I'm going into playing it. How do we even win the game? Thank you. So every villain has a different goal to win the game.
Right.
So it's won differently depending who you're playing. So Thanos, for example, I'm attempting to collect the 6 Infinity Stones.
Shocker.
To do that, I have to have them in my domain, and then they're going to go into the gauntlet, and I'm going to get more powerful the more I get.
Right.
Emily's goal.
I need 4 allies at 4 different locations, and each of those 4 allies have to have 5 strength.
Yep.
So
she's got to get some allies out, make them stronger, train them up, and then just have them ready at all the locations available, or as many locations as possible.
Dodging Thanos.
Dodging Thanos in this one and all of his allies. So anyways, now that we know how to win the game, let's go ahead and get into playing.
Okay.
So I'm going to take my Thanos and have him walk over to the Infinity Well, and I'm going to bring this up so you can see a little bit better what these look like. So Infinity Well here has 4 different actions at this location, and as I said, you can take those actions in any order. So this action right here allows you to play a card, and that is just a single card for every action on there that shows that, or every symbol that has that on there. So there are 2 of those at this location that will allow me to play 2 cards.
Right.
This action allows me to gain power. It looks the same, but it'll have a different number in it depending where it's at on the board. So you can see this one has a 1, that one has a 3. That's how much power I would actually gain. And the top right one is to actually discard cards. And so that would just allow me to discard as many cards as I want from my hand.
They can always refer to a reference card.
Yes, they can.
Which I do a lot because it's a lot to remember. And I also have referred to the villain guide.
Yes, these are extremely helpful. So every villain comes with a guide that you can use. It kind of tells you how to win the game as them. Right. And then some cards you're going to be looking for in your deck to help you get there as well.
Yep. It's really helpful reference.
Yeah, it is. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to jump into this and start taking my actions. So I'm going to gain 3 power, because power is like the currency in the game. You have to use that to play cards and do other actions sometimes. The first card I'm going to play is an ally. It costs 1 power, so I want to pay that before I forget, and I'll show you what that looks like. So at the top left of every card that you play that has a cost will have the power cost at the top left. So this card costs 1 power to play. Right here is the name of the card, so this is the Legion of Thanos. At the bottom is the type of card, so this is an ally. There's a few other types. There are items, effects, and specialties. And specialties completely change like your character for the rest of the game. They go out and they're on your board. We'll show you one when we get one. below the name, you have some special abilities. If it's an effect, that's what the effect will do. If it's an item, that's what the item does. Some allies also have special abilities. And in the bottom left of all ally cards, you have their strength. So this is the Legion of Thanos. He has 2 strength. Not a very strong ally, but he's there. So I put the Legion of Thanos out. I can play another card. So I'm going to pay 2 power and play Consult the Well. Ooh. So Consult the Well is an effect. Effect cards you pay to play, you do what they say, and then they get discarded. So it's like a one-time effect.
Right.
So the Consult the Well is Thanos' bread and butter in this game. So this is one of the ways that I can get Infinity Stones into play.
Right.
So it says choose another player. So I have to choose Emily. That player receives
to.
I have to. Yeah, there's no one else here. That player receives a random unclaimed Infinity Stone. Once played, I can then relocate an ally to the location of the Infinity Stone. So the first thing Emily's going to get to do is draw an Infinity Stone at random. And that is going to actually go into her domain. So
show them what the stone
yeah,
looks like.
let's show what the stone looks like. So the Infinity Stone is an item when it comes out. This is going to go into Emily's domain attached to an ally. It then gives her this activate ability, which she'll be able to take in by moving to a location that has the activate ability,
Right.
which we'll cover in a little bit. And it gives that ability when she activates it. The rules of the stone are, when a stone is given to a player, they must attach it to an ally in play, as long as that ally doesn't already have a stone attached to them, because no ally can truly wield more than one stone. Only Thanos can do that. True. So if you have an ally in play, you can attach it to that ally. If you don't have an ally in play, you can play one from your hand for free and attach it to that ally. If you don't have one in your hand, you actually get to reveal cards from your villain deck until you reveal an ally, put that ally into play for free, and then attach the stone to them. So Emily doesn't have any allies in play,
Don't.
but you have one in your hand?
I do have one in my hand, and it's a trainee. It's my ally. It's a new guy. The cool thing about trainees, which, I mean, he gets a stone, so I mean that's cool too.
He's very
but
powerful.
Also, if I ever have him with another ally that maybe has more strength, if we defeat either one of his allies or a hero that is in my space, the trainees get discarded and not my hero or my ally with all the power. So I can work towards my goal.
They're really good for Taskmaster's goal.
They are. So I'm going to put my trainees in Camp Hammond. They're hanging out at camp.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attach the stone to them.
Okay. Okay, so then I get to relocate an ally. Relocate is another action that you can take on your domain. So it is this action right here. Jeez, I couldn't find it. So it's the card with the arrows. So I can relocate one of my allies to the same location as the gem.
Well, that was quick.
For free, yeah. So the Legion of Thanos will actually move over here, and it'll cover up to the actions in Emily's domain. That means she cannot take those actions as long as the Legion of Thanos is there.
Great.
So I have played 2 cards. I've taken my power. I can discard cards if I'd like. I'm going to discard 1 card here, and then draw back up to 4 at the end of your turn. So that is going to go to Emily's turn.
Alright, so this butte has affected how I'm going to play. So I'm actually going to move over here so that I have an activate. I am going to take my 2 power though, I like to get it out of the way and collect my monies before I forget.
Yep.
And then I am going to, my second one is going to be activate.
Okay.
Because since my trainees have the stone in their possession, I get to use it as my item. So with the activate, I can find any card in my deck and add it to my hand.
Yes.
Just no big deal. I'm just going to maybe find some allies.
The activate ability is that one right there. It has the card with like the shining light coming out behind it. So she will activate any card that has the activate symbol on it. Right now it's the Mind Stone. Yep. And get that ability. So she went ahead and searched her deck and found a card that she wanted.
Right.
Okay, and you put it into your hand?
I put it into my hand.
Cool.
So the next is going to be a play. I'm going to play the name of the game. I'm going to get an ally out there. I'm going to get this guy. His name's Crossbones. He is my ally, like I said, and he can be played from the discard pile. So should your ally or a hero come and take out Crossbones, because there's no trainees or other helpers, I just set him down there, and I get to play him.
Yeah, so instead of having to be played from your hand like every other ally in the game, his special ability is he can also like return from the discard pile.
So I'm going to play this guy at the Solomon Institute and pay my 2 for him.
Okay.
And then I have relocate, and I'm going to be a little spiteful here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to relocate my trainees and my stone.
Yep, so
and
when you
there's
relocate,
two over here.
you can move to any location in your domain, and if an ally has an item attached to them, like the Infinity Stone, it moves with them. That's rude.
Taskmaster never claimed to not be rude.
That's right.
He could anticipate any blow.
He could, yeah. You saw what was coming.
I'm out of my actions. I'm drawing up, and it's all you.
All right. Well, that put a little hamper my plans here. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to Nowhere. Nowhere has a couple new abilities or actions we haven't used yet. So the first one I'm going to do is use Relocate.
Oh!
So I'm going to go ahead and move the Legion of Thanos over here to the armory. They're gonna chase the trainees. You haven't gotten away from me yet. The next action on this card that I can use that we have not used yet is Fate. So let's talk a little bit more about the Fate deck. So the Fate deck has a couple different kinds of cards in it. It has heroes, which are bad.
Right.
Effects, which are usually bad for us. And then there's also events that can be in the Fate deck as well. Events can affect either a single villain, or they can affect everyone at the table. So this, for example, is a neutral event. So if this event was drawn, it would affect everyone. And the way you defeat an event is you put allies on it or relocate them to it. And as soon as it hits, their strength is equal to the strength in the bottom left corner of the event, it is defeated. So this event, Avengers Assemble, says when this event is revealed, the current villain must draw a card from the Fate deck and play it on themselves. So it's going to force you to fate yourself when it comes out. And at the start of every villain's turn, they have to draw a fate and play it on themselves as well. So until this event would go away, it would cause bad news for all the villains, so we'd kind of have to band together to defeat it. We're playing like the simpler, quicker version of the game though, so the events were removed from the Fate deck, but normally those are in there, and there's also heroes or villain-specific ones that target only Thanos or only Taskmaster, and those would only hurt me until I moved my hero or allies there.
Another level of play.
Right. But anyways, let's see what fate we're gonna get. So this is a neutral Fate card. You can tell it's neutral because there's no specialty symbol at the bottom right there. Thanos would have his symbol, and Taskmaster would have his symbol. So it's just Nick Fury. He's a hero. Just Nick Fury. I mean, it's Nick Fury. He's a hero. He has 2 strength. And then he has a special ability. It says when Nick Fury is played, the targeted player loses half of their power rounded up.
Ooh.
So I'm going to drop him. Let's go over here to the training room. That seems like someplace Nick Fury would show up. So you are going to lose half your power rounded up. So you have 1 that you lose your 1 power.
Half of 1.
Yep. Nick Fury is not happy. The next thing I can do is play a card. So I'm going to play a small price to pay. This is just an effect. It costs 0 to play. And then I gain 1 power plus 1 additional power for each other villain who controls an Infinity Stone. So I get 1 power just for playing the card, and I get 1 power because Taskmaster controls an Infinity Stone. Excellent. And the next action on Nowhere is to Vanquish. So the Vanquish action looks like that. And what that allows me to do is actually a fight. So to vanquish, you can vanquish at any location normally in your domain. Thanos is a little special where he can vanquish in other players' domains. So I can use my Legion of Thanos to fight the trainees. To win in a vanquish action, you either have to have equal to or greater than strength than the person that you're fighting. So normally you're going to be vanquishing heroes that are in your domain. Thanos is a little bit different. So the Legion of Thanos has 2 strength. The trainees have 1 strength. The Legion of Thanos will win, so the trainees will get vanquished. But when you take the vanquish action, your allies also get discarded as well. So the Infinity Stone is now hanging out. Emily cannot attach that to another ally, but she can continue to use the ability because it's still in her domain and not controlled by one of my allies.
Right.
So that's going to be it for my turn. That's all my actions. I'm going to draw back up, and then maybe next turn I can get over there and grab the Mind Stone. We'll see.
Wheel? Somebody took my power, so I've got to go over here, and even though I'm kind of chopped off at the knees there, I got to grab my 3 power so that I can, play cards and whatnot.
Yep.
And let's play a card. So, haha. I've got another ally card. This is Death Shield. So Death Shield is cool because he gains a +1 strength for each hero, Nick Fury, at this location. So I'm going to pay my 2. I'm going to play him. I've got another ally on the board. I'm working towards my goal. Plus he gets a +1 strength, so he is now at 4. Got to be at 5. So
he's getting there.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
He's good for you.
And then that was all 2 of my actions. So I'm going to go ahead and draw up, and it's up back to you.
Having heroes of my allies in your domain isn't great for you. Alright, so what I will do is move over to Titan. I'm going to gain a power. I get to fate you again, so I might as well get that out of the way.
Excited.
So this one is called A Stone is Found. This is an effect one, and this is a Thanos-specific fate card here. So this would only be in the game if Thanos is in the game.
Right.
It says, choose a villain other than Thanos. So I have to choose Taskmaster.
Say in half. You choose to choose.
I choose to choose Taskmaster. That villain receives an unclaimed Infinity Stone. Yeah. So see, this is normally good for other villains to get. So if Emily got this, she could play this on herself. Well, she'd have to because Thanos, she can't play it on Thanos. But she gets to claim an Infinity Stone. And once it's played, she may immediately activate it for free. So which stone did you get?
I got the Soul Stone. So I can play an ally for free from my discard pile, and I happen to have an ally.
Right, but before you do that, you have to attach the Infinity Stone to one of your allies.
So I'm going to put him on Crossbones because Crossbones can be played from my discard pile, plus he's not as powerful as Death Shield, and there's no heroes there.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. So I'm doing that.
Okay.
But I am also...
Yep, so now you get to activate the Soul Stone and pull the trainees out of your discard pile and play them somewhere.
So I'm actually going to play them with Crossbones because I feel like maybe you might come and try and take out my main dude.
Probably.
And I'm going to sacrifice my trainees.
That's kind of my goal.
So.
Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I fated you, I took my 1 power. I'm going to play a card, the Legion of Thanos, they're back. Or another Legion of Thanos, some more members of it. And then I have a relocate action, so I'm actually going to send them back over here to the armory. And they're going to pick up the Mind Stone, because it is floating around there. So they are now holding the Mind Stone. That's the last action of my turn, so I'm going to draw back up.
I'm going... I really wish Nick Fury would go away. But
you could vanquish him using Death Shield.
That's against my goal. My goal is more allies.
It is.
Not fighting with them. And okay, so I'm going to go over here.
Okay.
I'm going to take my 2. And then I'm going to play, but it's going to bounce back on what we had sort of talked about, the specialty cards.
Okay.
So the specialty card, like you said, it becomes like a permanent fixture.
So essentially this will get added to the right side of Emily's domain, and she'll have this ability will be on her board then for her to use whenever she takes the activate action. So she will be able to pay 1 power and then take the action below whenever she activates a card.
So did I pay for that? I don't think I paid for that. I don't think I paid for it.
I don't remember, yeah.
We started talking about it. So, did you talk about what my specialty is?
No.
Okay. So, anytime that there's an activate, like what's about to happen right now, I get to find an item or an effect, not an ally, through my discard pile or my deck and put it into my hand.
Yep.
So, that segues me into this round's activate, and I'm going to pay 1 power.
Yep.
And I'm going to go digging.
Yep. And if Emily wanted, she could use the Soul Stone's activate ability instead, because she took the activate action.
This one only helps in the discard pile.
Right.
And I don't have a discard pile somehow, so...
Yep. When you activate, you can actually choose any card that has that symbol on it in your domain.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then shuffle your deck, or because you went through it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to stack. I know Taskmaster likes to plan, but.
It was technically like the second from bottom card. But
Oh, okay.
Anywho, and then I have a relocate. I don't really have a need to relocate. I don't want to fight. I think I'm good. I'm going to not take that action.
Okay.
And, finish my turn. I'm already at 4. Thank you, specialty. So it's all you.
And that does bring up that you do not have to take any action on that location if you do not want. They are all optional. So I need to get the Legion of Thanos back here to me. So I need to take a relocate action. So I only have one place where I can do that. So I'm actually going to come back to nowhere. The first thing I'm going to do is just relocate. Let's get back here. So I can put the Legion of Thanos anywhere in my domain. Just drop them there. And I will acquire the Mind Stone. When the Mind Stone comes back, or when any stone comes back into into Thanos' domain, it'll flip over and it'll become a specialty. So now I have the Mind Stone in the gauntlet. So I'm going to put that right there on my specialty part of the board. And now I have that activate ability whenever I activate, that I can find any card in my deck and add it to my hand. Okay. But that's what we're going to actually wrap the playthrough for right now. Will Thanos collect all the Infinity Stones before Taskmaster assembles his army?
I got lots of, I got items, I got allies. I'm ready to build my army.
That's right. We'll find out next time. Until now, we're going to transfer to the Q&A and see if anyone has any questions about other villains or about the game in general, and see how it goes.
All right.
Questions?
See, question, why is she so pretty?
That is the top question here.
That is the top question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll stop